Lena Khan exit interview. All right, Lena Khan. Lena Khan, last day, essentially, of her job. Exit interview. Tell us what you got.
Lena Khan, thank you so much for joining us.
My
Great to be
goat.
with you.
Okay, so you're winding up your final days as chair of the Federal Trade Commission. Technology companies obviously have grown enormously big in the past few years. Do you think that you've been able to adjust the monopoly powers of these companies in a way that does protect Americans or limit these companies' scope?
So litigations are ongoing. The Justice Department got an important win last year with a court holding that...
Bro, I cut this out because I thought it was kind of boring. Prediction for 2025. Absolutely, the year of mergers and acquisitions, M&A. There's going to be so many mergers in 2025. Lena Khan has been holding back the gates. She's out. The whole vibe is shifted. Everyone's getting stoked. Wall Street's getting stoked. They are so excited to roll things up. Yeah, there's going to be big mergers in 25. Well, you said murders like Luigi Mangione? No, maybe that too, but we're gonna see a lot of mergers. They're gonna have an entirely different plan on antitrust, which is more like deregulate, no antitrust enforcement, just go for it. The market will figure it out. Yeah. So it's gonna be different.
We have a Facebook case that's going to trial this spring, a big monopolist.
Now I want to say, that's about everything outside of big tech. I will say, both conservatives and liberals and progressives, actually, all parties agree that big tech needs more regulation. Big tech is kind of the enemy of the public in general. And I do think that, like, whether it's Trump Vance or Biden Harris or Lena Khan, whatever, I think people are going to have a bigger scrutiny on big tech. I don't think they're going to walk away from it free unless Meta's Joe Rogan gambit works, which it might. They might be okay. I think big tech will not be able to buy every competitor, but I think everywhere else. I think like grocery store mergers, airline mergers everywhere else in the economy are going to be way more common. Not just a little more common, like it can be a big boost.
On the Microsoft Activision case, critics said, these weren't natural competitors, so why is the FTC getting involved here? Do you think that kind of opened the agency up to a lot of external criticism that you guys were intervening in cases that maybe were outside your traditional
It's obvious
remit?
that was the right
So that
move.
case in particular, that litigation is still ongoing.
Okay.
It's on appeal to the Ninth Circuit. But you raise an important question more generally, which is, are the only mergers that are illegal those that are between direct competitors? Or do we think that mergers between different parts of the supply chain can also pose legal concern? And you're right that for several decades that was a view that vertical mergers in particular, or mergers between...
I want you guys to just listen to this, and I want you to realize that if you were to ask Donald Trump or Kamala Harris this same question, their answers would be so bozoified. I just want you to know that both our presidential candidates for this question would be so cooked. You know what I'm saying? She deeply understands what she's talking about and is explaining it it's just competence. We need more of it in government, bro. We just need more competence.
When I would hear, especially in the run-up to the election, when I would hear from CEOs and business executives, your name would come up a lot. I never heard of an FTC chair being known around the country as much as you were. Democrats and Republicans, they were critical. Did you hear that kind of feedback, and how did you kind of process it and factor it into?
Bro, that's how you know she was good. That's how you know she was good. Because our bought and paid for political system, they all hated her. That's how you know she was good at her job.
What would you say was kind of your proudest moment as FTC chair? Was there a case that you felt like really reflected your long-held beliefs about antitrust enforcement?
We just won a big case against the Kroger-Albertsons merger, which has now been abandoned. That would have been the largest supermarket merger in U.S. history. I was invited to listening sessions across the country in places like Phoenix, Las Vegas, Denver. Communities were really worried about what would happen to grocery prices and to grocery jobs if this deal were allowed to.
Yeah, especially jobs, bro. They would have driven down wages for anyone working in a grocery store because they had nowhere else to go. It's so good that got blocked. There's no benefit to the regular person from having Kroger and Albertsons not compete. Yeah, I mean, literally Australia, Eskimo pointed out, dude, Australia has deeply consolidated monopolistic supermarkets. They hate it. They got to go to Coles or Woolies, dude, and they have no options. That's why they all praise Aldi, because it's the only one that ever broke into the monopoly, and it's not everywhere. They have basically two supermarkets that have split the whole market and have no need to improve or get better or pay better wages or get fairer prices. That's why they love Aldi. Everyone loves Aldi, really, but in Australia, they really love Aldi because it's the only chance of breaking that duopoly.
I think one of the lessons from Web 2.0 has been that these moments of technological transition can be incredibly important inflection points where new rivals have an opening to come into the market and displace some of the old giants. But these are also moments where those giants may panic and recognize that they face a major competitive risk
wise.
and then resort to illegal
So
monopolization, illegal.
Well, it's exactly what happened in the dot-com bubble. When the internet started to rise and new companies were rising up, Microsoft got freaked the out and started doing illegal monopolistic practices like bundling Internet Explorer with every single copy of Windows to kill Netscape in the womb, to buying up every single competitor. Yeah, I mean, like this is happening with AI. There's a new wave of upstarts starting to come in that could like finally beat the Google monopoly. And there's so much shady shit happening to try and keep the old guard on top.
Non-compete clauses. This is one I heard a lot about from friends. A range of businesses, hairdressers, a whole bunch of people encounter this kind of clause in some of their contracts.
When we proposed this rule to eliminate non-competes, we got 26,000 comments from across the country. The stories that we heard were devastating. I mean, we heard from a bartender in Florida about how she was sexually harassed at her job, decided to go get a job at a different restaurant, and got hit with a lawsuit for tens of thousands of dollars.
Insane.
And so she was facing a choice
You can't
between
non-compete someone from a different restaurant job. It's insane. You can't just put that in a contract. And we talked about this when we did our coverage on it. There was a casino that treated its employees terribly, terrible wages. Then a new casino opened across the river, like really close by, and they made everyone sign a non-compete because the other casino was offering better wages. So they couldn't go over there. It's crazy. Instead of raising their wages, they just made sure they couldn't work anywhere else. Like all the dealers had to keep working there because they were locked into a non-compete. It's so stupid. It's not good for anyone but the owner. It shouldn't be allowed.
Do you expect a lot more M&A activity in a couple months once you leave and there's a new chair of the FTC?
Look, I completely understand that deal makers, want antitrust cops to go away and to stop scrutinizing closely mergers and acquisitions. That's not the job we've been given, and it's been vindicating to hear that the FTC's approach had a market impact and was deterring illegal deals. So I hope that we won't see a backsliding there.
She's based. I wish she was running for something. We'll miss you, Lena Khan. You did actual good work for America, for regular people, which is hard to find in government. I think life events are going to make a big comeback in 2025. Yeah, I mean, I just think people are recognizing, and it's hard to do anything about it. I think a lot of people can say it's a problem, but not do anything about it. But like, it's just, I think it's a slow move where I'm like, damn, this sucks. Like, it is truly rotting my brain. I'm truly like more depressed. I think people are just realizing, and you can't do that forever. And so they're trying things. And it's all going to work. And a lot of the habits are going to break and you're going to go back to it. Again, when you have your phone, you are in a war with like, millions of the highest paid engineers and psychologists in the world to keep you addicted. It is you as one evolved monkey versus all of the smartest people in the world paid exorbitant salaries to keep you addicted. It's a war that's hard to win, but en masse, people are finding ways. They're finding habits. They're finding tactics. They're going to try. I think it's a comeback year or a beginning of a fight. Are you going to give her situation, Mom? Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll wait and see. Basically, it looks like it will get banned on the 19th, but the ban is just taking it out of the App Store. So everyone that has the app will still be able to use it. And then Donald Trump's coming into power the next day, and he says things might change. I think he's going to try and make kind of deal to say, I don't know. I'm of the opinion still that maybe it's nothing ever happens. I think it'd be very interesting if we seriously banned TikTok for 6 months to see what happens. But I'm of the opinion on this one that like, I just get this sense it's not going to actually, we'll see. We'll see. Little Red Book, new TikTok. So people are just saying, it's like you're typing into Google, bro. Bro, write a sentence out, okay? Is that what you want to talk about? You want to bring the topic up, or are you just hoping I'll latch onto it? Which, by the way, I did, but don't get any ideas. TikTok, in anticipation of getting banned, has been pushing Lemon 8 and other apps to the top. And one of them is Little Red Book. Stefik, our Marketing Monday researcher, sent me some stuff today. Little Red Book hit, again, I think #1. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. It's still in Chinese. Hit #1 on the App Store, still named full in Chinese. People are downloading this shit, and then they're meeting Chinese citizens on there, and Americans are helping Chinese people with their English homework. You can see it like here, like this. Anyway, most people on there that are English speakers are just translating Chinese stuff with ChatGPT and, giving the gist of their answers. But it's a real togetherness moment for regular folk across the globe, which is fun and interesting. By the way, all of these apps will fall under the TikTok ban if it goes through. Wait, so American people and Chinese people are just people in the end? Don't make it saccharine. No, first of all, that can't be true, obviously. They're in different countries. Yo, Big A, did you see the amazing things happening in China? What's this? Amazing things are happening in China. This is just a guy lighting fireworks and putting them under a pot. I wouldn't say it's amazing. When are the Chinese going to help the Americans with their Chinese homework? This is America. We don't do Chinese homework. We don't do any other language homework, really, like ever. I did Spanish homework, but didn't really stick. Me gusta.